All right, let's talk about essays. Today, we're going to crack the code on essay writing. By the time we're done here, you'll have a super simple, really powerful framework to build any argument you want right from the ground up, and you're going to feel totally confident about it.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're just staring at that blinking cursor on a totally blank page, and it's just so intimidating. It's the classic writer's block. But what if I told you there's a way to beat it every single time? So here's the secret. Let's stop thinking about writing for a second and start thinking about building. Seriously, for the next few minutes, you're not a writer, you're an architect, and we're about to hand you the blueprint.
Okay, let's dive right in. Every great construction project, every single one, starts with two things: a detailed blueprint and a rock solid foundation. For our essay, that blueprint, that's your thesis statement. And the foundation, that's your introduction. If you get these two things right, believe me, the rest of the essay practically builds itself.
Your thesis is, without a doubt, the single most important sentence in your entire essay. Think of it like a GPS for your reader. It clearly states your main argument and gives them a little preview of the exact points you're going to use to prove it. And here's a little secret from me to you. You're going to place this powerhouse of a sentence at the very end of your intro. It just hits harder there.
So think about your introduction like an upside-down pyramid. You start really broad at the top to grab your reader's attention. That's what we call the hook. Then you start to narrow it down with a couple of sentences of background info. That's the bridge. And finally, you land on the very specific point at the bottom, your thesis statement. Broad to specific. Easy.
Okay, so how do you actually hook them from that very first sentence? It's way easier than you think. You could kick things off with a question that makes them think, gets their gears turning. Or you could hit them with a surprising fact that makes them go, whoa, really? You could even paint a picture for them with a cool what-if scenario. The goal here is simple. Make them have to keep reading. All right, our foundation is poured and solid. Now it's time to start building upwards. Let's get into the main structure of our argument, the body paragraphs, and see how this whole thing comes together, floor by floor. For this part, I've got a super simple kind of magical formula for you. It's called TEEL. TEEL. You start with a topic sentence, which just states the one main idea of the paragraph. Then you explain that idea a little more. Next, and this is crucial, you give your evidence, a fact, a quote, an example. And finally, you link it all back to your main thesis, TEEL. It's a foolproof framework that just works every time.
Okay, let's make this real. Here is our actual blueprint, our thesis statement for an essay we're pretending to write. The argument is that Morristown has become environmentally friendly and healthy because of two specific things: better public transport and new pedestrian-only streets. See those two things? Those are the main pillars we're going to build our whole essay on.
And look at this. This is how that blueprint directly maps out the structure of your essay. It's awesome. That first pillar from our thesis, convenient public transportation, becomes the entire focus of our first body paragraph. We talk all about it, maybe use the new bus routes as evidence. Then, that second pillar, pedestrian-only streets, gets its very own paragraph, body paragraph 2. Each key idea in your thesis gets its own room to breathe.
So the main floors are built, but, a building isn't finished yet, right? You need the hallways and staircases to connect everything. And of course, the whole thing has to be up to code. That's where transitions and a couple of golden rules come into play.
Transition words are literally the glue that holds your whole essay together. Or think of them like the hallways and staircases that guide your reader from one room or one idea to the next. Using words like furthermore or however or as a result just makes your argument flow so much better. It feels smooth, not choppy. Now for a couple of golden rules. Think of these as the building codes that make your structure strong and professional. First, try to avoid using I think or I believe in a formal essay. It just makes your argument sound stronger and more objective. And second, be specific. Don't just say something is good. Tell us how it's good. Is it environmentally friendly? Is it cost-effective? Specifics are what make an argument convincing. All right, we've got the foundation, we've built the floors, now it's time to put the roof on this thing. We're talking about the grand finale that ties everything together and protects all the hard work you've put in. It's time to write the conclusion.
And really strong conclusion? It only has to do two things. That's it, just two. First, you start with a summary statement. That's just a fancy way of saying you restate your thesis, but in different words. And second, you leave your reader with a powerful final thought, something that sticks with them, something that makes them keep thinking.
And check this out. See how the summary statement here isn't just a copy and paste job of the original thesis. The core idea is exactly the same, but using fresh words like cleaner air and sustainable future just shows that you're in complete command of your argument. It's confident.
So how do you leave them thinking? You've got a couple of really cool moves up your sleeve. You can make a bold prediction about what might happen next, or you could end with a big picture question that pushes the conversation forward. Both are fantastic ways to end your essay with a real punch. And real quick, here are a few common traps to avoid. Just some things you definitely don't want to do. First, don't introduce any new information or evidence in your conclusion. Its job is to wrap up, not open new doors. Second, never just copy and paste your thesis word for word. And finally, please try to avoid starting with, in conclusion. You're a better writer than that. And that's it. That's the blueprint. You've got the hook, the thesis, the TEEL method for your paragraphs, and a plan for a powerful conclusion. You have all the tools. You're not staring at a blank page anymore. You are the architect.
So I'll leave you with this one question. Now that you have the blueprint in your hands, what incredible arguments are you going to go out and build? Go get started.